Questions 1 through 4 on the 2019 Grade 12 Euclid Math Contest. Joyce has two identical jars. The first jar is 3/4 full of water and contains 300 mLs of water. The second jar is 1/4 full of water. How much water in mLs does the second jar contain? So we have two jars that are identical. So the first jar is 3/4 full and it has 300 mLs. So that means the full capacity is 400. The second jar also has a full capacity of 400 since it is identical, but it's only 1/4 full. And 1/4 of 400 is 100. So how much water is in the second jar? 100 mLs. What integer satisfies 3 is less than 24 over a is less than 4? Well, let's look at the first part of the inequality. That would be that a is less than 24 divided by 3. So a is less than 8. Second part of the inequality gives me that 24 divided by 4 is less than a, and therefore a is greater than 6. So combining these two, we have a is greater than 6, but it's less than 8. So obviously the only integer that's between 6 and 8 is 7. So a is 7. If 1 over x squared minus 1 over x is 2, determine all possible values of x. 1 over x squared minus 1 over x is equal to 2. Get a common denominator, which in this case looks like x squared. So it's 1 minus x squared. Sorry, just 1 minus x over x squared is equal to 2. So that would mean 1 minus x is equal to 2x squared. Put everything on one side. 2x squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. And let's see, I'm hoping this will factor. So 2x, x, 1, 1, negative, and plus 1. So that would be 2x squared plus 2x minus x, yeah. So that means x is equal to either negative 1 or a half. And those are my values for x. In the diagram, two small circles of radius 1 are tangent to each other and to the larger circle of radius 2. What is the area of the shaded region? Well, the area of the shaded region will be big pi r squared, the whole circle, minus 2 of those small circles, so small r squared. The big R is 2, they told you that in the question, and then the small r is 1, also given in the question stem. So this just becomes 4 pi minus 2 pi, and that is 2 pi. Carrie jogs at a constant speed of 8. Mo jogs at a constant speed of 6. Carrie and Mo jog from the same starting point to the same finish point along a straight road. Mo starts at 10. Carrie and Mo both finish at 11. What time did Carrie start? Well, speed, as always, is equal to distance over time, and any variation of that formula will be true as well. So Mo, he starts at 10 a.m., right? And he finishes at 11. So his time looks like a full 1 hour. And his distance, well, that I don't know, but I know his speed is 6 kilometers per hour. So I can easily figure out his distance. That's speed times time. So it's 6 times 1, which is just 6. So it looks like the distance is 6 kilometers. So for Carrie, same story. For her, we actually don't know the time yet, but her distance is going to be the same, right? Because they're running the same distance from the same starting point to the same finish point. And then her speed we know, that is 8. So we can easily figure out her time. That's going to be d over s. And that is 6 over 8, which is 3/4 of an hour. And 3/4 of an hour is 45 minutes. So since she finished at 11, she started 45 minutes before 11. So she started at 10:15 a.m. The line with equation x plus 3y is equal to 7 is parallel to the line with the equation y equals mx plus b. The line with the equation y equals mx plus b passes through the point 9, 2. Determine the value of b. Well, x is equal to 3, y is equal to 7, x plus 3y is 7, so isolate and we get 3y is equal to minus x plus 7, so y is equal to minus 1/3 x plus 7. This line is parallel, so that means it has the same slope, so m is the same as that. So that means y is equal to minus 1/3 x plus b. The slopes are equal because the lines are parallel. Now we have to figure out this b, but we have been given a point, so we can sub that in. When x is 9, y is 2. So sub in those values and solve for b. So this becomes 9 divided by 3 is 3 minus 3. So it looks like b is equal to 2 plus 3, which is 5. Michelle calculates the average of the following numbers. Daphne removes one number and calculates the average of the remaining numbers. The average that Daphne calculates is one less than the average that Michelle calculates. What number does Daphne remove? Well, Michelle adds them all up, and when you add them all up, you have to then divide by 8. And that average we can easily get. So 5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 16 plus 24 plus 28 plus 33 plus 37. And that number divided by 8 is 168 divided by 8. And that is equal to 21. And then Daphne, she removes one of these numbers and she calculates the average. So her numerator is going to be this sum, 168, minus some number. That number I don't know yet. 168 is the sum of all these numbers, and she's removing one, so that's why her sum is 168 minus x, where x is the number she removed. Her numerator is that. Denominator, of course, is 1 less, so that's 7. And then when she does her average, it's going to be 1 less than what Michelle calculated. Michelle's average was 21, so 1 less than that is 20. All right, so we have 168 minus x is equal to 7 times 140. 7 times 20, which is 140. And then therefore, x would be 168 minus 140. And that is 28. So that is the number that Daphne removed in order to get the average that she got. If 16 to the power of 15 over x is equal to 32 to the power of 4 over 3, what is the value of x? It's helpful if you change all these to base 2. So that's 2 to the power of 4, 15 over x as the exponent. 32 is 2 to the power of 5, and then 4 over 3 as the exponent. So now exponent laws, you multiply, so that'd be 60 over x, and this would be 5 times 4, 20 over 3. So the bases are the same, so the exponents are the same. So that means 60 over x is the same as 20 over 3. So cross multiply, and 20x would be equal to 180. And therefore x is 180 divided by 20, which is 9. Suppose that 2 to the power of 2022 plus 2 to the power of a over 2 to the power of 2019 is equal to 72. Determine the value of a. I'm going to break it up. 2022 over 2 to the power of 2019 plus 2 to the power of a over 2 to the power of 2019. And when you break it up like that, it will help a little bit. So this one, you just subtract the exponent. So it's 2022 minus 2019. 2022 minus 2019. And the same thing here would be 2 to the power of a minus 2019 is equal to 72. This is, of course, 3. So that's 2 to the power of 3, and the rest doesn't change for now. And then 2 to the power of 3 is 8. And therefore, I can now put everything on one side except this 2 to the power of 2008 minus 2019. 72 minus 8 is 64. Okay. Well, 64 is 2 to the power of 6, right? So that becomes 2 to the power of 6 is equal to 2 to the a minus 2019. Now, bases are the same, so the exponents are the same. So that basically means that 8 minus 2019 is equal to 6. Put the 2019 on the other side, and we get A is equal to 2025. In the diagram, triangle ABC has a right angle at B and point D lies on AB. If DB is 10, ACD is 30, and CDB is 60, what is the length of AD? Well, this is 90, this is 60, so that means this angle in here must be 30. This is now 60, this is still 90, that means this angle must be 30. And if this is 30 and that's 30, then this is an isosceles triangle. That is the same as that. So that means AD is the same as CD in terms of its length. Okay, for the millionth time, we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle on a math contest, and by now, I cannot even imagine how many times I've said this. The ratio of the sides is 2, 1, and root 3. I'm tempted not to say it, but I always feel that if I don't say it, the solution is not complete, because maybe there's one person who doesn't know that. Okay, so now we can use those ratios to figure out the length of CD. CD over 10, which is what DB is going to be the same as 2 over 1. So therefore CD is 20. And then since AD is equal to CD is equal to 20, that means AD is 20. And that's it. The points A, D minus D, and B minus D plus 12 and 2D minus 6 both lie on a circle centered at the origin. Determine the possible values of D. A circle centered at the origin will have the equation x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, where r is the radius. First, let's substitute in that point. When we do, we get d squared plus minus d squared is equal to r squared. So that becomes 2d squared is equal to r squared. Okay, so my equation is now x squared plus y squared is equal to 2d squared, if I substitute r squared to be 2d squared. Okay, now let's substitute in that point. So minus d plus 12 squared, and then y is 2d minus 6 squared is equal to 2d squared. Expand this and you will get d squared minus 24d plus 144 plus 4d squared minus 24d plus 36 is equal to 2d squared. Let's put everything on one side, collect like terms, and I'll get 3d squared minus 48d plus 180 is equal to 0. Divide through by 3, and when you do, you get d squared minus 16d plus 60 is equal to 0. And I think this will factor, so I don't have to use a quadratic. Let's see here. 6 and 10. That should do it. Minus, minus. Yeah. So d is equal to 6 or 10. And there you go. Those are the possible values of d.